In East Tennessee, toddler.
That breaking news, authorities have found remains believed to belong to missing East Tennessee toddler Evelyn Boswell. News Channel 5's Jason Lamb is at the 5 Alert Center with what we know right now. And Jason, after a 2-week search for Evelyn, this was not the news people were hoping to hear.
Yeah, Emily, there's no other way to put it. This is a heartbreaking update at the end of a heartbreaking week in Tennessee. The remains were found this evening on a property. Evelyn's grandfather reported her missing to the Department of Children's Services. The property is on Muddy Creek Road in Blountville. Deputies from the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office were searching the property when the remains were found. Those remains will be sent for an autopsy and a positive identification. The 15-month-old was reported missing a few weeks ago but hadn't been seen since mid-December. Maggie Boswell is behind bars right now for false reporting. Investigators say her story changed many times during the investigation. Emily's maternal grandmother, Angela Boswell, and her boyfriend, William McLeod, were arrested for stolen property in North Carolina. They're accused of taking a car investigators were looking for in Evelyn's disappearance. The TBI got more than 750 tips in her disappearance. Now, a press conference is scheduled in just about 15 minutes, 10:15. We hope to bring that to you live here on News Channel 5 on newschannel5.com.
A tragic end. This is News Channel 11 at 11. I'm Kelly Grossfield. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department says that remains found on property owned by Megan Boswell's family are believed to be those of Evelyn Boswell. Ansley has been covering the case since the beginning. Tell us what you've learned in the last 24 hours.
Kelly, I arrived to the property in the 500 block of Muddy Creek Road in Blountville around 9:30 last night. There were dozens of marked and unmarked law enforcement vehicles, as well as a crew from the ETSU Forensic Center and the Sullivan County Coroner. Around 10 p.m., authorities said that new information brought forth led them to that property. In a press conference last night, the TBI, the Sullivan County Sheriff, and District Attorney General Barry Staubus said that the investigation into what happened to Evelyn Boswell is active and ongoing. People then set up a memorial on that property where the remains were found. Today, we reached out to those who are connected to the case and closest to Evelyn. I spoke with Megan Boswell's lawyer, Brad Sproles, who says he's the one who told Megan that Evelyn had been found.
Did she seem distraught? Was she crying?
Obviously upset. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. This is a tragic situation any way you look at it, so, her reaction was somewhat to be expected.
Brad Sproles is the court-appointed attorney representing Megan Boswell, Evelyn's mom, for her charge of giving false reports. He said he was the one who told her investigators found remains believed to be those of her 15-month-old daughter.
So were you the one that broke the news to her?
As far as I know, from what she had indicated to me, that no one had told her until I got there.
He says that even though his appointment to represent her ended when the case was bound over to grand jury, he expects to be reappointed at her next court date.
As a service to the court and to her, I went ahead and appeared last night at the press conference and went over and talked to her.
Sproul says he hopes people are cautious of placing judgment.
I agree with what the District Attorney, General Staubus, said, that this is their very early stages, and for everyone to please be cautious about rushing to judgment here.
Megan remains in jail tonight on a $25,000 bond. She is due back in court May 8th. Last week, her mother, Angela Boswell, bonded out of jail for a stolen property charge over a BMW that was connected to the case. Earlier this week, a judge told her that she needed to retain a lawyer by her next court date at the end of the month. She will also have to continue to wear an ankle monitor. Her boyfriend, William McLeod, was arrested with her in North Carolina last week. He appeared in court earlier this week on that stolen property charge. He bonded out of the Sullivan County Jail Thursday afternoon. Today, I went to the address listed on Angela Boswell's court documents in Kingsport. William McLeod answered the door. I asked him if he would speak with me on camera about the discovery of Evelyn. He said, quote, "I will be right back." Seconds later, he reopened the door and said, "Do you see that driveway? pointed to our car and said, "You need to get right back in your car and leave." News Channel 11 has also reached out to Tommy Boswell Sr., Evelyn's grandfather, and her father, Ethan Perry. Neither have returned our calls or requests for interviews.
Okay, so, with this case, the girl was, the last actual date that they can say anyone actually physically seen her was December 11th, because everyone else, has lied. So, they found the human remains on Friday, and, they sent them for autopsies to see, how she died and all of that. This is a pretty huge memorial. This is not far from me. This is all a memory of this little girl right here. So the babysitter said, I think it was the babysitter said that she had seen her December 11th, but they're doing reports saying that she was last seen December 26th. Now, the mother said initially that she was with the babysitter, then initially stated that was with the father, and the father is in the army or the military and is stationed somewhere else. They were able to confirm immediately she was not with the father. Then she claimed that the grandmother had took her camping somewhere in Virginia. So they went to Virginia and the camp area and searched it, not just for the grandmother, but possibly for the remains. And then once they had found the grandmother and her boyfriend, they found them in North Carolina next to a property with a pond. So they drained the pond and searched it for the remains as well, but didn't find anything. So now they have found the remains. They are about positive it is hers. It was found on this baby's grandfather's property, which is the mother's dad's property. They are from Kingsport, Tennessee, but the grandfather lives in Bluntville, off of Muddy Creek Road. So there is a lot of these pictures. As soon as I know more about the cause of the death and all of that, I'll let you know. But like I said, there's been several small children going missing in this area. And honestly, it shouldn't have took this long for them to find the remains if they had been there this entire time, if you actually want to think about it. But the mom probably won't be in there long, because here you pay 10% to a bail bondsman and get out. And the grandmother is out wearing an ankle bracelet, and now the grandmother's boyfriend's out wearing an ankle bracelet as well. But like I said, the mother's not being held on murder. She's being held for lying to the cops. The cops said that every time they asked her a question or would go to talk to her, it was always another story. They said they could never get anything out of her. This is the house. This is our sheriff's office in Bluntville. That's one of the cops. It's Sheriff Cassidy. So they're still not sure what's going on, but they are about positive, it's foul play, of course. And it's all about this little girl right here. So let's hope that something happens. We figure out the cause of death. And all of this is wonderful. All these people in the community coming together. They have had candlelight vigilance. They've had people just showing up, doing searches. They've made a lot of press conferences. They've done a lot of coverage over this. And the whole time the mother's been in jail, and the grandmother as well. So I wanted to share this update with y'all, and I wanted y'all to... I didn't know this case was as big as it was. I thought it was just local, because it's been everywhere, but I thought it was just locally big. And then I started seeing other people talking about wanting to cover this case, and I'm right here among the family and everything. So I might do a little bit more coverage on this case. just because it's so close. But I want everyone to please keep, everyone that is affected by this in your prayers, okay, guys? And may God bless you, and may God bless all your families, and stay safe, and may God bless the family, if none of them had anything to do with any of this. Just, pray for them, as this is a hard time, and to lose a child is horrible. So right now she's in a better place, and that's all we can hope for. God bless you all.